So people can jump on as they want. That's fine. I'm just going to do some preliminary things. I want to ask you guys some questions because it's going to help me know where we're at with building sites. So if you have a website, and you can just speak anytime. If you have a website, what website do you have? Do you have a Google site or have you been using something else? No one's has a website yet? No? Okay. It's fine. Just asking.
I've been using Class Dojo this whole time, so that's the only thing I've used, and I've noticed my parents really like that app.
Yes.
So I was just looking to see if for next year what would maybe work better or what. So
okay. Great.
The only thing I've used is Google Classroom.
Okay.
Along with Class Dojo, so I mean that's the only like website I've used.
Okay.
And I use Class Dojo, and I also have an old Shutterfly website that I do keep active.
Good. Shutterfly. Gosh, I stopped using that many, many years ago, but it. Class Dojo. I know that's used quite a bit. It's nice how you can reward and even take rewards away from students, I guess, depending on their behavior. And so there's lots of good things about that program. Totally agree with that. Websites can be more static depending on how you want to do this. Class Dojo is a real good way to reach students though. I like using obviously Google Classroom along with Google Sites. And what I'll do is I'll bring up my site. We'll also bring up and create a brand new site. If anyone does have an older Google site, let me know and I'll show you and give you directions on how to convert that to new Google Sites. So that's an option for some of you that may have a site. So that's why I brought that up. The nice thing about using Google Sites or another program that can reach parents is you can't reach parents very well with Google Classroom. So by using Google Sites or another avenue like Class Dojo, you're really able to reach those parents that you normally couldn't, besides Google Classroom giving you the missed assignments, the information like that. So I like this Google Sites just for that reason. Super easy. It used to be convoluted and it would take a long time to build a website. Now it's drag and drop, super simple. One of the things that I suggest you do, my phone's blowing up here, sorry guys. One of the things that I suggest that you do, if you're going to create a Google site, and even today as we do this, create your site, but then make a copy of your site. Use your copy then as your test platform, right? Do all your things, play with it, do whatever you want. And then when you're ready, you can easily copy from your test site to your real site and publish it. So nothing is seen by anyone until you click the publish button. I want you to know that and remember that because that's really important. You'll also probably want to set things up so that you don't have to give access to parents every time that you put something on your website. And what I mean by that is, think of a Google document or anything you want to share with someone. You know how you have to go in and you have to share it with certain people and give them the rights. My suggestion is in your Google Drive, create a folder called Google Sites and then give that folder public rights. Okay? And that'll allow you to make a copy or put any information into this folder and it will automatically be public. So no matter what you grab from that and put in your site, it will be available for everyone. Just understand, everyone does mean everyone, not just parents. Because you probably don't want to add every parent name in there. and give them rights exclusively. It'd be easier just to give the entire public rights. And obviously people aren't going to probably go to it unless they have an interest in it, unless they're snooping around. But what are they going to see that really hurts? So I don't worry about that too much, I guess my point is there. So, all right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up my website and share that with you guys. Give me just a second. So this is my new website using Google Sites if you hadn't seen it before. Notice this heading up here. This is brand new. This is a feature that Sites just added, and it allows you then to put information up here that you want to stream and to show prominently. And I'll show you where that's located and how to do that. So I can easily then just click this link and you can see that there's a document there. Okay, so going back to the site, you can also add a logo. So I added our logo and then a heading. So each of these sections right here are called pages. So we're on the home page. So in this home page, I can change my background. I can write whatever I want. And all I did is I created a text box and started typing. And I'll show you how to do that. If I want to change the image, I can upload my own image. So anything that I have, I can select an image, something that's already created. I can put in a website address. I can search on Google. I can look at my pictures. And I can go into my Google Drive. So that would be the background image. I just did something really plain here so it could stand out, make it easy to see. And then this is just another section, another inserted text box with information on it. I'm starting to do what's called a shout out. So when I find something that someone's done that's really helped a bunch of people, or new information, I'll do a quick shout out to someone. And then again, here's the information that I've added that I feel is more important because it's more at the very top of the page. This is information that I've had here quite a while. This is scrollable. Just don't see it in my edit because I'm in edit form right now. Okay. Any questions so far? Everybody good? Okay, good. So over here again, this is the basic heading. You can change your header type. This is a banner. Maybe you don't want the picture, title only. I like the banner. Or you can make it a larger, or you can make it a true cover page where it's even bigger than that. But I'm going to just keep it at the banner, which is the default. Notice underneath this heading here, these are all, again, pages. So if I go to my Google section, this page, I have all these different Learn by App sub pages. So these are just sub pages off of the main page. So if I wanted to go to Google Calendar, there's my Google Calendar page that has multiple links. What you'll notice is each of these, I've kept the same background. And you can add footers if you want with additional information. And then under the subfolders, I even have another subfolder that has Google Drive items with docs, forms, sheets, and sites. along with slides. Over here, just something on the Ed Leaders Network, information for everyone, the wonderful Ed Leaders Network, and required trainings and such. Have some resources here. So under my resources, Office, this is my Google Calendar. And then I have all kinds of links here to different things in my drive and more information. I need to clean this up for sure. Then I have a security page off of that. And the Symbaloo. And then the very end, I have actual substitute teacher resource website. And then the About Contact. So again, these are all pages. So getting to a section here, you can duplicate the section. So if you know you want something to be just like this section, just duplicate it and then add to it, make your changes. And of course, the background can be changed too, and images on this background. This one I kept very plain. Okay. Any questions so far? Just speak up, guys. All right. Cool. So just wanted to show you what it looks like. You can change your layouts, and we're going to do all this in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I would ask that you guys do the same. So we're going to open up and build our own little website here to start with. Okay? Easy to do that. Basically, open a tab, type in sites.google.com. Depending on where you're at, it may take you to this site, which is the old site, or it may take you directly to the Google new site. Either way, if it takes you to this old site under sites, choose new Google Sites.
Mike, I have a question.
Yes.
I have not published my old Google site, and it shows up on there.
Okay.
Should I keep it, or should I just start a new one?
It's totally up to you. One of the things that you can do under that location that we were just at is you can then convert it to new Google Sites if it's an older site.
Even if it's not published? It's not published yet.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
So give me 1 second here. And let me share this tab. I'll show you. So what you do is, are you looking at this section? I want to make sure, Terry,
Yes.
we're the same. Okay, great. So if you're looking at this, let's say I pulled this one up. This is a website, old website. This is what they look like. This was actually a template. So to convert your site, it's kind of convoluted. You go to the gear, drop down under Site Actions, go to Manage Site. You follow so far?
I don't see site action on the gear. I see sites, help, and user settings.
You don't see the Manage Site anywhere?
No.
It may have to be published first then. That's
Yeah,
probably what the problem is.
All right. So how do I publish it? Yeah, it's under construction, but
Okay. We're going to have to go back to that.
okay.
And I'll work with you individually and we'll get that taken care of, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. So I'm starting to get the hang of this sharing tabs thing. It's not so bad. It actually asks you each time which tab you want to share, and every time you open and go to a different tab, it asks you if you want to share that tab. So you guys should be back to the new site template gallery. And if I open that up, you can see there's multiple templates already created. One that's actually pretty decent is the one that's actually called Class for Education. So if I select this, it's going to create a new website. Okay. Everybody good? See that? Yes? Okay, great. So you notice that this actual website has 3 pages: home, schedule, and newsletter. And how I can tell that is I can select pages and see my pages. Each of these pages can be duplicated or added a subpage to it. So a subpage, again, is going to be one underneath it. So if I wanted a subpage under home, I can click a subpage and just call it, I'm going to be really silly and call it away. Notice how it added a drop down arrow. And now I can go to that page, and it's a subpage of my home page. So when you hover over this, it'll show it. So let's say, just for testing purposes, I wanted schedule to be the first thing people see as my home page. I can select it, select the 3 dots, and make home page. And again, see the other options. The hide from navigation is interesting. So you could keep working on this and create your own pages, but then hide them so no one can see them even after you've published it. So maybe you're not quite done with it, but you're working on it. That's one way you would do that. So if I don't want this away, I can delete it, and now that's gone. Okay, going back to this main area again. Let's just look at this website and see how it's set up. Class name, look how easy that is. I can make sure it's in bold, italicized, title format, normal text, subheading, whatever you want. I'll keep it as a title since it's the very top here. The image is good, but if I don't like that image, I can upload my own image. See if I can find one here. Maybe a plain one. So there's my new image. Okay, I like those people up here. Undo. Exactly back to where I was before. And you can click undo, obviously, until you get to where there's no more undos. Then again, it's a cover page, a large banner, or title only. You determine that. That's about all you can do here. Under class name, call this what you want. And you can see here, there's a quick overview. This was created right here by a text box. So you just click a text box, and there's a text box here. Easy to format, bold it, italicize, put it in the middle. Pretty much anything you want to do. So let's say I want this to have a different color. I can go down here and select an image, either my own images or one that I find. Give it a second. And there's that image. If I don't like it, of course, I can always go back. Let's say I want this to be up top, or at least closer up. Notice how the cursor changes. Just drag it and drop it. All right. Any questions so far? Pretty simple, really is. It's drag and drop, adding things. Add as many text boxes as you want. Let's say I want to add an image. Click image, select, or upload. No idea, but we'll insert that. And there's your image. Now, since there was no room to put it, it put it at the bottom of the page. So if I wanted to put it up higher, notice how I can shrink it. And it doesn't want me to put it inside the box, but that's okay. I can always change the size of this box, and I can also make this bigger too. Notice when I click on it, I can crop it, add a link. So if I wanted this to be a website, I could add a website link to this picture. So when you clicked it, it took you to that website and all kinds of other things, caption information, so on.
Mike, I have a question.
You bet.
So, like, if you use one of their templates and, like, let's say I don't want to have the category a schedule, I can delete that? Or
You can.
Okay.
So the category schedule is a page. So under pages, I would just select the 3 dots here and delete.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But let's say, and name something you'd want a page to be, because that would be important.
I would probably just have community resources since I'm a social worker.
So what I would do is you come here, you're fine wherever you're at, pages plus new page, community, just make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
And click done. And it'll put it here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you want it here. Drag and drop. It's as simple as that. Click and drag it. Maybe you want it at the end.
And then my other question is, like, once you publish a site, how do you unpublish it? Can you unpublish it? Like,
yeah, you
you're
can.
like, oh, it's a really bad idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So we'll get to that, but yes, you can definitely unpublish it. That's not a problem. You can also delete it, but that's usually not what you want to do. Not after you've done a lot of work.
Thanks.
You bet. But notice it makes this template makes the picture the same, but you can change. Like these are different pictures, so maybe you wanted to change this image, just add a different image instead. And we'll get into some of this in just a second. So pages are easy. Themes. This is going to be very limited but it also is very easy. Notice the yellow lines here. You can change that to different colors. Maybe you like this better. So that changes the entire look, kind of like the whole, like it says, the whole theme of the website itself. And we're going to try to publish something. We will, and I want to show you what it looks like in just a second. And we're going to go over some other things. Here is one thing I would suggest if you do use this template. If you want, put your name and email in there, but don't put your phone number. Not because you don't want parents to call you, but once this is public, then anyone in the world would have your phone number. And most of us do have cell phones, and you don't want people calling your cell phone you don't know or out of the blue. So I highly recommend you do not put your phone number on your website. Does that make sense to everybody? Because you will get calls from people who knows where, and most of them will not be worth listening to. Guaranteed. All
Not
right.
even your school phone number?
You can put your school phone number, sure. Your secretary might not like you much, though.
True. Okay.
Because, again, what happens is there's web bots that crawl the internet, and they will search public websites, and if they find anything that's in a format of a phone number, they'll grab that and just robocall.
That's true. That's true. What about your email? Should we put our school email on that?
I would put your school email. I think that's fine. If you would have an issue with that, you can always filter those people out. Google does a good job of that already, noticing what's spam and not. Does a really good job, actually. Because we don't even have we used to have a spam filter in the district. We don't need it with Google anymore. It does it itself. But you still will get some every once in a while, and you can filter those yourself if you'd like. And if you want to know how, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Again, that's what this is about, asking questions and going from there. All right. Super, super important. If you create a website, you must go to this section here where it says preview. Select it. When you're ready, when you've published, or before you've published, notice how it shows large screen. So I'm on a desktop computer. That considers it a large screen. This is what your users will see. Okay. If I select the next one, which is tablet, this is what your users will see. Notice how the formatting is squished. Last but definitely not least, select phone. Less real estate, less screen. See what happens to your settings. I highly recommend, and it's almost a must that you do this, because if your screen that you're using is a larger screen, you're going to get wrapped text and things won't look right. So especially if you have something like links here, these links could be all scrunched together and run into each other. So it's just a way for you to preview to make sure that your site looks good in whatever format you've saved it in and published. Okay. Next part is sharing. We're familiar with this. Choose this. By default, your site, once you publish it, is only published to anyone at CUSD 10 school district can find and view. That doesn't mean they're going to know it exists. That just means if they know what it is, or if you've given them the link, they can get to it. They have access to view it. If you're working with someone else, and this is something that was brought up in the first session, and I think it's a great idea. Let's say you're working at a grade level or a group level to create your own website for parents and for students. If you're the owner that originally created the site, select this, prevent editors from publishing, changing access, and adding new people, if you wish. That means they can edit it, but you have the final say on what gets published or who has access to it and adding new people to this. So please remember that setting. So it's always good to have one person be the main person that handles basically the website, and it's under their account. If I had someone else that was a co-owner of this, someone else I added to this, I could switch them to be an owner also. Since I'm the only one, notice how it's grayed out. So what you would do for the public, for anyone else, is just click the change and then select anyone can find and view published version and save that. Okay, any questions to that? You guys are a quiet group today. All right. So then after that, we get to the settings. The gear is always settings. Select gear. Navigation. Notice that the navigation of the pages is up top. See, mode. I can do top or I can do side. Oh, sorry. Or I can do side. If I do side and then stop this and preview, then it puts it down on this side. I like it on top. I just like the way it looks better. You do whatever works for you. You can change your colors. This is just kind of white. Notice the whole white area, but let's change this to black. You can even make it transparent. That's not good. You can't find it. So, brand images. If you have a logo you want to add, you can do that. On my side, I actually added the K-Hawk icon. Let me show you that real quick. So if I go under my edit on my page, go into the gear, go into brand images, notice that I grabbed this K-Hawk icon, the Collinsville K-Hawks, and I put it up in the corner here. And I use purple color. Okay. Viewer tools, info icon. This will show you page specific details. Site viewers may click or hover over the icon to reveal content. Just something I added. I'm going to play around with this. I don't know exactly everything that it does. Here's to learn more. I haven't got to that. The analytics, unfortunately, this will not work for us, not for the educational platform. It would actually tell you who and how many times your site was hit or people went to it. Then the last thing here is the announcement banner, which is this top part here. I'm showing the banner. Maybe I don't want to show it. After I got out of this banner would disappear. Banner color, my announcement, that's this part. Then the button label. Here's the button. And do I want it to open in a new tab, and or do I want this on every single page? We'll say homepage only is what I have and go there. Again, it's a live button and it takes me to this page then. So I'm going to go back to this. So that's how you create things in the settings. Okay, go back to home. Good there. All right. So far, any questions? I know it's one of those things you get in and you just start working with and playing with it and determining what works best for you. Don't be afraid to experiment. Again, I would recommend you make the site, and then over here under these three dots, click duplicate site. Version history, this also comes in handy. If you do that, you can then go back to an earlier version. So I made changes at 11:19, and at 11:36, we're looking at the current version. This will continually update and show previous versions. So if I wanted to revert back to 11:19, I can click restore this version and my website goes back to that previous version.
So Mike, why do we want to duplicate it?
You wouldn't have to if you're going to do the version history. I like duplicating because I do that to test everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So I duplicate the site, then I call one of them test site and the other will be my real site. The test site is where I would experiment with, try all kinds of things. And then if it works, then I would do that to my regular site.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just a test site is my reasoning behind that.
Okay.
Before you publish. Now to publish, it's as easy as just clicking publish. Notice that this by default grabbed the name that I gave this site. You can change this here. I'd keep it the same. I'd keep my site name, but it's up to you. If it's not a unique site name, so if this address here is not unique, it won't let you create it. But being that our website is sites.google.com/cusd.kaux.org, the only way this wouldn't be unique is if you have a site that's named exactly the same as someone in our district. And then it's as simple as clicking publish, takes it a little bit, and it's out on the web. Then this link, actually, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Oh, once you publish it, in fact, I'll publish it right now just to make it easy. Now that I published this site, I can go up here and copy this link. This is the link I would give parents or students to go to my website. Not this edit one, this one. And there's the actual site name. It's easy as clicking copy link, open up my email or my Google Classroom and send it to my students and our parents. Any of this, since I'm still in edit mode, can easily be changed. Under the publish, you can look at your publish settings. Same thing here. You can look at review changes and publish. Oh, don't have anything right now. View your unpublished site and unpublish. So yes, after you get it published, then the unpublished is available. Okay. Okay, sorry about that if you couldn't follow along with jumping back and forth. This is something, again, it's difficult while we're remote here and I can't see what everyone's doing. But jump in anytime. I'm not going to always look at the chat. And
I have a quick question.
yes.
Okay, so if you want to edit your website, like let's say you had already published it and you just wanted to make some changes to it, like you see something that you don't like and you want to change it up, like change the image or something, do you have to click unpublish to do that?
No, you do not.
Okay.
So what it will do, and I will show you an example here. So let's go back to my website here. You guys should see that now. Let's say I want to change something here. Just something quick. So I just made a quick change. Maybe I spelled something wrong. Whatever I did. When I choose publish, notice how it shows a split screen. So now what's nice is I can come down here and I can see exactly what changed.
So every time you edit it, you want to hit publish when you're done with editing.
You do.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. And then this will pop up showing you a split screen of what you changed. So your draft currently published. So here's your old, previous, and here's your new. And then if I don't want to do it, I can just X out of it. And then the new will not be published. The nice thing is, I mean, the publishing is really quick. You know, those changes are not a big deal. Doesn't take long at all. So if you put something out there and you want to change it real quick, just go back in, edit, and republish again anytime.
Okay, Mike, I understand the idea of having a duplicate site to play around with and stuff, but say you do that kind of on a regular basis, and if you want to move it to your published site, are you just replacing the whole site every time, or are you?
Well, it would be two different sites.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it'd be two different sites. Again, you don't have to. That's just a suggestion.
No, I mean, I like the idea because then I don't have to publish something that I screwed up right away. But I mean, if I really like it, is it easy to move it, or do I just get rid of the other one? You see what I'm saying?
I do. And I don't want to confuse you too much on that. So what you can do, I don't think you're going to be able to copy from here, but you can. Let's try something. You should still be able to use Control-C for control copy and Control-V for paste of anything that you want and be able to put that into, say, your site you wish to publish, not your test site. I think that would probably be the way I would do that. So if I click duplicate site, we'll just do that. Gives you the information here, calls it a duplicate. Now this will take it a little bit because there's some. Okay. So notice it says copy started, check your emails for updates. So then give me a second. Okay. So then I can go to my website or my email, and you can see your copy is in progress. Less than 5 minutes for your copy to be ready. You'll receive an email when your copy is ready. So it's not ready yet. Now it is. So now I can just select my email. Another tab will open. And notice how it says copy of Google Sites. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to this site. Next, I'll go to my site here. I'm going to pick this whole section here. I'm going to do a Control C. And again, I'm not sure this will work. Now I'm going back to the copy. And I'm going to click here. And no, it doesn't look like it's going to copy it over there.
Okay, so basically, if you do something on your test one that you really like, you just have to
Redo it.
and
Yeah.
redo it. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, it doesn't look like they have a real good copy set in this. They change the site all the time, adding things. Usually don't remove things, but they change and add things quite often. Like I said, this whole settings, this is totally different. This didn't exist just a few months ago. So they're updating it all the time. You know, images is great. Let's say I wanted to, this is something I think you guys might like. Let me change to this site real quick. Let's say I wanted to add something here. Check this out, image carousel. So click the plus sign and then let's upload an image. And I'm going to just pick a few. You have to have at least 2, it says. So I'll just do 3. Give it just a second here. So these are just some images from a trip up in Washington and Oregon State. And I can then just click insert and it will put it here. Notice that there's 3 dots. So you can then see each picture. Let's say I want this to be somewhere else. I can drag it up. I can resize it. Notice how now I just moved it to the middle. Actually, I moved that whole section to the middle. But anything can be moved around and added to. So that's just one feature, one thing here. This section here, you'll really have to just play with. The map is cool. You can put a map of your school there if you'd like. I've done that. You can add your calendar. So you want parents to know what's coming up. Adding a calendar is a great feature. So you already have one of your calendars created. It goes to your Google Calendar and asks you which one you want to have there. See, I could pick any of these calendars, insert it, and this is an agenda. Maybe I want month view. Okay. So then you got to edit. that's agenda view. I want month view and click done. And that's what most people do is month view. But you could do week view too, just under the gear, week, and done. And there's a week view. So once you publish this, parents could select any of these items and view them. They would have this complete calendar, your calendar viewable to them. And again, you don't want to forget the preview section to make sure everything looks right. And as you can see, I've just thrown this together, but this is what it would look like on the phone. All right. Questions? No questions? No more? Is this too much? Is it a good start, I hope, for you guys? Okay. I'm going to stop presenting on that. That's pretty much all it is. A lot of drag and drop, inserting what you want. Super easy to use. But I'm not saying you, obviously, at all, you have to use this instead of what you're currently using. If you're reaching your parents very well and it does everything you need it to do, you know, there's no reason really to change. I really like the calendar portion of this is excellent because inserting the calendar really lets parents know what's going on and students, what's coming up. There's so many things that you can add to it. Your Google Documents are super easy to add to it. And by using Google Classroom and using Google Sites, you're going to reach pretty much everybody and all of your audience and such. So, all right. Any questions whatsoever? One last time. No. All I can say is you guys, great seeing you. Hopefully you'll enjoy the weather today and upcoming. I'm here for you guys at all the time that I can be. Email me, contact me any way you want, and have a great summer, I guess. All right. I'll send the eval and the CPUs for you guys. All right, we're good? All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.